Okay, so hopefully you've watched the slow stitch video, and for this semester, you have an alternate that you can do instead of that project. The requirements are very similar. You still have to incorporate your ego print, you still have to incorporate the rust transfer, and you still have to incorporate a dyed fabric, a fabric that you've dyed, and you still have to incorporate three different stitches, three different embroidery stitches. It does not have to be 18 inches long in one dimension anymore because that wouldn't make any sense. But if instead of doing the slow stitch project like it's outlined in that lecture, you would like to participate in the mask competition, which this is a thing that's going on in the art and design department. Um, Submissions are due September 4th, so fairly soon. If you want to use the requirements and materials for the slow stitch project and instead make a wearable functional mask, you can do that. To get the credit, you have to also submit it to the competition. So that's like kind of part of the deal. So you have to make a mask. You have to, as I said, still do all those requirements. It has to be functional for my class. For other classes, it doesn't. So you need to have your embroidered stitched layer, and you're going to need to line it so that it's functional, because embroidery needles, you're poking a bunch of holes through there, so that's not very good at keeping a virus out. So you have to line it on the inside as well. It can tie around the face. It can have elastic that goes around the ears. Either thing is fine. You can get creative with it. It can be something that's like a hood that goes completely over your face. That's fine if you want it to be something that goes over the whole face or something. But it has to cover your mouth and your nose and be able to be used in a functional way as a COVID-19 pandemic mask. Okay, so there are some additional requirements there, obviously, but it is in the end smaller than the slow stitch project. So you don't have to do both of these, you can do either or. If you do decide you want to do both, I will give you extra credit for doing the mask and submitting it to the mask competition. The other cool thing about this is if you submit to this competition, as you can see, this is the poster for it over here, made by Eric, who teaches design and things. So you can see the awards down here. So you can win cash money in this thing, which is pretty rad. So that's an incentive to submit to this as well. So if you decide that you want to submit something to this competition and you don't want for the something you submit to the competition to be what you make like the slow stitch project for this class, you can just make one of on your own and submit it too. It doesn't have to be submitted in connection with a class. From our meetings and stuff, I think most of your faculty in this department are having this either be a project or an alternative to a project like I'm doing, or an extra credit. In my 2D design class, I'm giving them extra credit if they do it. So I think there'll be quite a bit of student participation, but it is pretty cool. You can win some money. Even if you don't win money, it's something that you can put on your CV. That's something we'll maybe talk about a little later in the semester if you're interested. Developing a CV, the curriculum vitae, which is like a resume for artists or academics, basically. So, exhibition line, possibly some cash money, a functional mask that you made that you can wear, all pretty cool things. So I do want to post this as a possible alternative for that project. Okie dokie.